Hi everybody, I'm Mo and I welcome you all to MomDas Life Handmade. Today I'm participating in a challenge called Using Trash to Create Treasure, being hosted by Casey from Coffee with My Sunshine, and I'll put a link to her channel in the description box of my video along with the playlist that she has created. This is one of my favorite themes. I love picking something very ordinary, something which is trash, something that has been lying around in the home and give it a new life, give it a new purpose. Today's projects are very simple. I was just looking around for something to work with because it gives me that satisfaction of having been creative in the day. So I found this bag full of garments that are jeans garments which are no longer used, torn or discarded. Basically, these were of use to my family sometime, but once it was stopped being used, I had washed, cleaned and kept them. And I use them as a raw material. So from trash, they become a raw material for my work. So I'm going to use some of these jeans fabric and some of the other trash in the home and turn them into 3 different items that can be used in the home again, and they look very stylish and beautiful. And if you love such content, if you love to see how I take very ordinary item and do DIYs with them, decor with them, everything related to home within budget, and if you're new to my channel, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button given below the video, and do hit that little notification bell so that you're notified each time I post my video. First, let me introduce you to the trash items I'm using. I have made a lot of recycled denim projects before I started YouTubing, and this was one scrap piece of denim fabric or jeans fabric left. This is the back pocket of a gents jeans pant. So it's the rest of it I might have used somewhere, and this is left out. So here's the pocket, and this is more or less a square piece left is the bottom side. Now this piece, this thing is a net. It's a metal net with a frame, and this is used to cover utensils having hot food items in them. Now this is supposedly steel, but with time, with use, this thing starts to rust because the steam comes from here and there's water. So this piece rusts and then you have to discard it because it starts to break. So I keep these pieces because of the frame. I like the frame because I can use the frame for many different kinds of DIYs. Say for example making wreath hoops, or for using it for macrame or any other kind of DIY. So I tend to save these pieces as well for the circular frame. So these are the 2 pieces I'm going to use today. So I'm going to also use this pocket. This is a ready pocket, a very useful thing for me. So I'm going to center this. The first thing I'll do is I'll remove this net by just tearing it apart, maybe cutting it out. I'll remove the net out of it first. So now using a plier, I have pulled the whole net apart. There are still some frayed wires left. I'll pull them also apart. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this pocket inside this frame so that it's equal distance from the edges, and then mark it using a fabric chalk. Now I'm going to embellish this portion which is inside this circle, embroidery or sequins or buttons or anything, laces or ribbons. I'm going to embellish this center portion. I'm going to use a little fabric glue for adding some sequins on this. I found this crocheted cherry with leaves in my stash, and I'm going to attach it here in the center. I decided to highlight this pocket area because it's very faded, so I'm adding a little blue here. I'm using fabric paint, that is acrylic paint, just to highlight this section. Now I've attached all these. I'm going to turn it around, and I have just marked the outlines from the front side onto the back side also, so that it's aligned. Now I'm going to trim off the extra fabric all around, keeping about 1.5 inches border all around so that I can turn it in. Now I've taken some crochet yarn in a thicker and yet sharper needle, and I'm going to fold the whole thing inside and fix it using the thread and needle. So first I'll do the opposite end so that it's in place. So lesson learned, I need to tie a knot first. I went about 1 inch on the other side, and I'm going to pull it again. And 1 inch on this side. Continuously keeping the tension and at the same time keeping the hoop in place. I'll tie this later. I'll finish this ends first. Now this back side is secured. I found another trash. This is the neck of a bottle. When you remove the cap, the sealing ring is left behind. I just found it lying somewhere, and I'm going to fix it. I'm going to stitch it here at the back, just on the bottom, so that it's easy to hang this on the wall. Now I've attached this ring here, and this web is holding the denim fabric very securely. Now I can glue together a piece of fabric here, circular fabric, to make the back side neat. Now this is the front. It almost looks done, but I'm going to embellish it further. This is a thin pom-pom lace, and I'm just going to glue it all around these edges, and this will look really pretty. And once I've glued it, it will be ready to decorate on a wall. I love this little wall decor piece. It's a pocket, wall pocket kind of thing. It looks beautiful in the colors of blue indigo and red, and it can be used in any ways. For decor, adding some flowers is really good, but I can even use it over any desk or a workspace area and use some stationery or other items to place in this bucket, or maybe cards or letters as well. These are lovely. You might have seen my Mackenzie's Child inspired DIY where I made this beautiful candle with the pink checks on it. This is sold for approximately $20 or $25 on the site, and I just made a dupe or hack out of it. I'm going to do a similar kind of DIY today, and for that I'm using a piece of paper. This can be termed as trash in any household. This paper had been used on one side, it was printed and used, but now it's of no use. But in our home we don't throw such papers away. We use the paper, the other side, if it's not printed, we use it for drawing, writing, whatever purpose. My children, myself, my husband, we all use it. Then maybe my children might, make it into an aeroplane or play, but after all the work that this paper has done, then only this paper goes to the recyclers for recycling. So a paper goes a long way in our home before it's thrown. So today also I'm going to use one such paper and turn it into a beautiful decor item. So to begin, I'm trying to make a buffalo check pattern. I'm just using blue poster colors, and I like the way each time I put a stroke, some places light, some places dark, something like the denims, like the jeans. It's kind of faded at places, and at places it's nice. So I'm not much bothered about the thickness. I'm just going freehand. So first thing, I'm going to try to make some buffalo checks in the bottom. So first the horizontal stripes, and I go ahead and put the vertical stripes. Then some more pattern. Now my paper is ready and dry, so I've carefully taken off the tape from this paper. I can remove it. I can use this paper as a template to cut out how much size I want, but if you haven't done it before, you won't have a template. So basically I'm going to roll it around and mark how much of paper I want. It's always better to cut a little extra than cut less. So just at the overlapping, a little with overlap, so this is the edge here, and on the top I'm going to cut a little more than the top edge. I'll tell you why. Now when I wrap it, this is the back side of the candle. Now when I wrap it, you would notice that the top edge of this battery operated 6-inch candle, pillar candle, is a little irregular to look like molted or wax that is melted. So I'm going to mark this curved edge with a pencil all around it so that I can get the exact curve and then cut it neatly out. Now I'll place it along the curve so that it matches, the paper matches with the curve, and here I have, yes, and now I'll just add colored tapes at the back. The candle holder is super cute and beautiful and very stylish, ultra modern, mud cloth like traditional feel, yet the colors of indigo and the pattern is really beautiful. Now this project might look big, but this has been the easiest of all projects that I'm sharing today. Now I was just organizing some cupboards and I found this skirt. Now this skirt belonged to my daughter and she has outgrown it, and I save every piece of denim, every piece of jeans that comes home. It's a beautiful skirt. It no more fits her, and the size is perfect for a cushion. It is a little longer than the width, but the width is perfect for a cushion. I have removed the elastic from the back and I can stretch it so that the whole thing becomes a rectangular piece. So I don't have much to do here. I'm just going to measure it by putting my cushion inserts inside it, and the excess I can just fold it in like this and stitch it from inside, or I can even glue it, but I prefer to stitch it because it's going to be more sturdy if I stitch it, but one can use glue gun or fabric glue. Now on the top portion, this is the elastic, and the faded and dark colors of the elastic areas are seen. Here is the button and also the zip. So, and the loops, the pocket, this is really interesting. I'm going to keep it just like that. So I'll keep this end open, put my insert in through this end, and I'm just going to top stitch this with some a little chunky stitches, and I'll just use the matching thread so that it doesn't show, and it's going to look a smart cushion. I love how this cushion cover turned out. It is very stylish, kind of boho yet modern, and I like it with all the pockets, front pockets, back pockets, the buttons, everything. It looks really good, perfect for the coming summers and also great for the current season. I hope you liked my today's DIYs. I plan to do more DIYs using my recycled denim ideas, and if you love to see them, I'm going to make a series of such videos. So do make sure that you have hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the fun. Until my next video, my next DIY, take care, stay home, stay healthy.